Remember the days we saw purple haze. 1 and 1 and 1 is 3. Hey, hey, baby, what you do to me?
Good evening. I'm Patrick Moore, and welcome to Louisville Late Night. This evening, we're privileged to be at the junction of 16th and Maple, and we're here today to visit with a person who's well known in Louisville, who's spent a great deal of his life energy working for causes of social justice here in the Louisville community. I'm speaking, of course, of the Reverend Louis Coleman. And Reverend Coleman has agreed to visit with us today and give us an update on his many activities working for social justice here in Louisville, Kentucky. Let's welcome Dr. Coleman. Good evening and welcome to Louisville Late Night. This evening we're privileged to have with us the Reverend Louis Coleman, who has just been named one of the power people in Louisville, Kentucky, one of the top power people. And in this issue of Louisville Magazine, right here, Power People, this is the very latest issue. Louisville Magazine says that the Reverend Louis Coleman, pastor, First Congregational Methodist Church, and director of the Justice Resource Center, that Coleman is a man who is equally hated, loved, feared, and admired. Actually, the quote is, a man who is equally loved, hated, feared, and admired. Coleman has been speaking out often through a bullhorn against racial and economic injustice longer and louder than anyone else in the city. And then it goes on to say that the Reverend Coleman's top priority is, quote, to publish a daily newspaper that will have the heart, courage, and integrity to stand against the day-to-day injustices that continue to oppress disenfranchised African Americans and minorities. And we are just absolutely thrilled to have the Reverend Coleman right there with us today in person on Louisville Late Night. And is it okay to call you Louis, or do you prefer Reverend Coleman?
Most people just call me Rev. You know,
Rev?
I'm very comfortable with that. But I am just enthusiastic about appearing on your show tonight. You just educated me about the show. You're talking to a senior citizen who doesn't look at much TV. Spend most of my time reading the Word of God and doing what I have to do in this community and throughout the state. I represent the Justice Resource Center mainly, and it's an organization that fights for justice and equality all over the state of Kentucky. And whoever is oppressed, whoever is disenfranchised, whether it be black, white, red, or yellow, we stand for poor people, because poor people many times do not have a voice. And because we as poor people do not have a voice, we say what normally people feel very uncomfortable in saying, challenge the issues that continue to plague people of color, poor people in general, and we do it in many ways through protests, through leafleting an institution. This Friday, this Thursday, we will be in the governor's office. His practices have taken us back almost to Jim Crow days.
Is that
where
so?
you have a police state troopers class, 80 total people in it, and no women, one African American. Where you have a transportation hiring when the new administration comes in, 374 people hired in the transportation cabinet, and only 3 were African American. So we challenge these type of practices through third-party EEOC complaints, and this Thursday we'll have a sit-in in his office. So that we know what that means. We're going to do it late in the evening, around 4 o'clock, and